Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Navadine here. If you're new, come one, come all. And if you're a long time subscriber, you know me love you like cook food. So let's get into the video.
Personality, everything you do, it's me love, everything about you. Your smile, your style, so fly.
So you already seen from the title of the video what I'm about to review. I have the pleasure of sniffing Kayali's new release, Lovefest Burning Cherry. So we ain't gonna waste no time. You guys are just here to find out what it smells like. Not only am I gonna tell you what this fragrance smells like to my nose, but I'm also gonna compare it to Tom Ford's Lost Cherry. I think I had to do that because a lot of people might be curious about how Tom Ford's Lost Cherry compares to this new cherry. And I'm also gonna mention invite only amber in there as well because this is a cherry fragrance. So I only have actually an atomizer. So a few influencers were invited out for brunch and they told us that they had a new release, surprise, surprise, and that we should keep it hush hush, of course. And then she told us, yeah, and you guys are all gonna get a bottle. So we was like, really? My bottle ain't come yet. But in the meantime, she said we could take home a sample spray of it. So they gave us a travel atomizer. So before we were actually told what notes were in there, she didn't like give us the full rundown. Like, I don't remember, maybe I was talking too much at the table, but from what I remember is that like we all sniffed it and tried to guess what we smelled, and then she's like, yeah, that's in there, or no, that's not in there, whatever, right? So right away you guys already know that I probably should have wore short sleeves. Right away, you guys already know one of the leading notes. I have been wearing it. I've had this fragrance for about a month now, so as soon as I smell it here and I smelled it at the brunch table, it reminded me of Tom Ford's Lost Cherry. So that's what I get, a burst of cherry. I don't think it's as deep as Tom Ford's Lost Cherry, but it is very similar to that opening. Right away, it does start to give way to that burning kind of essence that they're going for in this fragrance. And that burning quality that it has reminded me so much of By the Fireplace. To be very honest, there are so many beautiful notes listed in this. It has, of course, the burning cherry, it has bergamot, it has raspberry, it has Palo Santo. I don't know what that is. I've never heard of it before. Oh, so it's just a woody note. Jasmine, sambac, and rose, and praline. It also has kayak wood, tonka bean, vetiver. I only really pick up the cherry and the burning wood. Nice scent, but very soft. I really wanted to include that a lot of people don't spray on a lot of the fragrance and then they complain about it not lasting, or them not being able to smell it, or it not projecting, or not having sillage. They complain about all the components that we look for in a fragrance, but then they've only sprayed it like once or twice. I definitely am an oversprayer, especially when I'm trying out a fragrance. Just a lot, so much that I don't actually count it. I'm just dousing myself in fragrance. So I definitely sprayed a lot of this fragrance, but I just don't detect it. For it to be smoky and burning cherry, I wanted it to be a boom. I don't really get much of the praline. Maybe I slightly get rose in there, but I think I'm honestly like clamoring to find the notes, and that's just because I know what's in there. I'm trying to sniff out for it. I really don't pick up much, and it is so soft. I have worn it to bed and I don't wake up and smell it. To me, it almost disappears like Tom Ford's Lost Cherry. I really don't detect it on my skin. I can pick it up more on my clothes, only bringing it close to my nose. I definitely think it has a sexy quality, sultry, nighttime sex appeal. It's just really soft. It's not powerful at all in my opinion, not on my skin, not on my clothes. I don't pick up the bergamot in the top. Let me see if I get raspberry. Whoops, wow, wasted that. As I said, because I'm searching for the notes, I guess I get an effervescent vibe, like slightly, a little bit of sparkle. I do like when fragrances are very well blended where I can't really tell each individual note, but I don't really smell anything else in here except cherry and some woods. I don't get any of the patchouli. We're just gonna compare this to Tom Ford's Lost Cherry real quick. This is definitely darker, and the liquor in Tom Ford's Lost Cherry still gives me that sex appeal that I love. Deep, sexy cherry, like they've soaked it in liquor. This cherry quickly goes away and you're left with a sweet burning scent. Having said that, I do prefer the dry down in Kayali's perfume. Tom Ford's Lost Cherry is a little bit flat for me. When it dries down and that cherry goes away, it's not interesting, it's not nice. Now let's put these two together before I talk about Invite Only Amber. This is definitely a brighter cherry, and they do smell good together because this one kind of lifts Tom Ford's Lost Cherry's fragrance, and that's probably because the raspberry is in here, so that pairs really nicely with the cherries. But on its own, I can't really detect it as raspberries. Comparing it to the cherries in this one, I'm just going to spray it on the box because I already have fragrances on my hand and I'm very familiar with how this smells. It hasn't changed on me. I mentioned before, after a while of wearing this, that the cherry in this, the cinnamon overtakes it for me. I feel like I can smell a few more things in this fragrance. We're going to spray these two together as well. No, I don't think it really does much for it when I mixed it with Invite Only Amber. Maybe that's because the cherry notes in here are so similar. But I do like the dry down in this. I can still smell the cherry on my hand in this hand that I sprayed Tom Ford's Lost Cherry. And then I can still pick up the burning wood in it. So these pair well together. My opinion hasn't changed for the month that I've been wearing it. I'm going to have to see how this performs in the winter time. So she didn't say that it's intense, it's just an eau de parfum. If I wasn't being gifted this, would I run out and get it for my collection? Not necessarily. Not because I don't like it, just because it's not powerful. For the character of this fragrance, I want it to be more powerful. I would want it to be, it doesn't have to be a beast mode fragrance, it just has to be strong, if that makes sense. I don't mind having moderate projection. I just want something. I want to be in my own scent bubble. I want to receive compliments. I want this to be a fragrance that I would reach for going out on a date. And if I can't wear it on its own because I don't feel like it's going to give me the effect that I want, that is a little bit of a disappointment for me. I feel as though Mona is definitely inspired by a lot of fragrances that we know, and I feel like she puts her twist on it and she puts them together, because I always smell some sort of something that reminds me of a fragrance that we know, but done differently and sometimes better, in my opinion, in regards to the scent profile. They're fragrances that I've been interested in but haven't been able to wear for one note or the other. For example, Utopia Vanilla Cocoa, which I have likened to Tom Ford Soleil Blanc. And I feel as though I prefer Utopia Cocoa because the coconut is sweeter in there. And then when she came out with Invite Only, a lot of people compared this to Angel's Share, but definitely different. I do feel like you can go out and sniff this, and it'd be definitely something that I wouldn't be mad at being gifted. And the bottle is gorgeous if you want to have it in your collection. But that's not why we buy fragrances, is it? We want it to last, we want it to project, we want people to smell it, we want to get compliments. I even want to smell it on me. At least if people don't smell it on me, I want to be able to enjoy the scent for myself. And I don't really detect this when I'm wearing it at all. Like, I mean, like, I've sprayed it and like 5-10 minutes I'm searching for it. I'm not saying that no one can smell it, because I did ask my colleagues to sniff me at work, but I can't detect it. This is probably going to be one of them fragrances that if I was wearing it on a date, I would spray it just before I get out of the car. Like, literally, so that I walk up to my date and he at least gets that first impression. He can forget about the fragrance afterwards. But a lot of us want our fragrance to really stick around and dance with us for the night as well. I guess it's supposed to be a summer kind of fragrance, but this reminds me of fall, winter. I'm really looking forward to seeing how this performs during the fall winter, and I hope it does really well. Hopefully after the launch we have like a lot more reviews on YouTube and we can see what other people are thinking, because you know, fragrance is subjective. We all have different preferences. I do enjoy soft fragrances as of lately, but I do want to smell them. I don't mind them having an airy quality or anything of that nature, but I do want to smell them. So hopefully this video provided some sort of peek into the fragrance until you smell it. As I said, I don't really pick up many notes from it, so hopefully there's someone else that can describe it in depth with what they pick up. But from my just a consumer nose, that's what I pick up from it. Hope you like this video, and I hope to see you in other videos. And I will link above as well my little day date with Mona. Hopefully you stick around and watch that as well. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. Comment down below what your thoughts are. Are you looking forward to getting this fragrance? Are you excited for a new Kayali launch? I'm always excited to see what they come out with. I will always go and put my nose on a Kayali release. I love the bottles. I love the aesthetics of it. I love Mona. But we all know that's not the only reason why we should spend our coins. But I do hope that Mona continues to have such a direct link to her consumers and supporters, because that's really a good touch. And at least if you message her, she's always willing to comment back. So don't forget to comment down below, and I'll see you in another video. Bye.